Are you tired of sending the same email out over and over again? In today's video, I want to show you a game-changing feature that you can use in Microsoft Outlook that will automate your email scheduling. And this is going to save you time and effort. Hi, I'm Jamie, and welcome to Teachers Tech. This method that I'm going to show you to set up this reoccurring email in Microsoft Outlook is completely free. You do need to do this online, and you do need to access your Microsoft 365 account, whether it be the free version or the paid one. Now, I'm just going to pop open a browser here, and I'm going to go into my Microsoft 365. Right now, I'm just in the Outlook here, the online version, but if you go up to the app launcher in the top left-hand corner, so if you're opened up into your Microsoft 365, you can see all the apps that you have access to. And the one we're going to look for right now is Power Automate right here. This is an overlooked app inside Microsoft 365, which is a fantastic app that you can automate so many different apps and save you a lot of time. I have a lot of different videos on this that I'll put links to down below and up above in the card if you want to learn more about Power Automate. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and click on Power Automate here, and you can see it opens right up. And this is where we're going to create the automation, and you're going to see how quickly you can do this. Mine might look slightly different than yours because I do have Copilot as part of my Microsoft 365. Now, if you go over to the left though, this is where we can create a flow in Power Automate. So I'm just going to go ahead and click Create, and we are going to go and use this one right here, Schedule a Cloud Flow. So we choose when and how often it runs. So when we're sending an email, how often do we want this email to automatically happen? So let's say the scenario is for a weekly team meeting reminder. So let's say we have a weekly team meeting every Monday morning, and you want to make sure everyone receives the reminder email the day before. So instead of drafting it over and over again, I can set this up as a reoccurring email. But take a look down below here. These are templates inside Power Automate, and look at all the different apps you can connect. Even outside of Microsoft, you can work with Google apps as well. But this is something definitely to spend a little bit more time learning about, and do check out those other videos. But I'm going to go ahead and click on Schedule the Cloud Flow. And at this point, we can go ahead and give our flow a name. I'll give this flow a quick name, just a weekly team meeting reminder. It's going to start right away, so I don't need to change anything here. When do I want this to repeat? Well, not by the minute. What is it going to be? It's going to be week here. So repeat every 1 week on these days. Right now, these are selected if they're blue. I don't want them to be all selected, so I just click on them to pick the day that I want to have this sent out. Do I want this to be sent out maybe Sunday evening so I know it's in their email box for Monday, or I could pick Monday morning? These are all things that you can set up. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just click Create here. Now, since I'm in a paid for version of Microsoft 365 with Copilot, you can see Copilot's here where it would help me create my flow, but I'm going to close this here. And the other thing I'm going to do, I'm in the new designer view. I'm going to toggle this off. If you are using the free version, you're going to see this one. Sometimes I find this one a little less buggy, this view as well. Now, we already created this recurrence right here. If at any time you wanted to edit this, if I go ahead and click on this, you can see that it says runs on every Sunday every week. If I click edit, this is where I can go through and start to make changes. So do I want to change the interval? Is it going to be more than once a week? Do I want it to be once a month, or so on? If I go show advanced options, you'll see I have a lot more ways I can edit this and customize this. Now, is there a certain time zone that I would go ahead and place? I could pick the change if I wanted to be Monday morning. I could put in the time. So if I click on this, you'll be able to see I can pick what time of the day. So if I wanted to be at 11 o'clock, I'd have to pick 23, so that's at 11 p.m. And then I could even get more specific by entering if I wanted it to be at 11:30, by putting in an option there. But at any time, I can go back and work on the recurrence to edit it to what I want. Now I need to have a new step, and I need to go and just click here. Now you'll see an option of different operations you can choose, from the built-in to standards, premiums, and so on. It gives you an idea of the different apps like Microsoft Teams. If I expand this, you can see all the different apps that you could be looking for an operation. But we're looking for one connected to Outlook. Now I could go through and I can see if I could find Outlook through here, but we can do a search. So if I type in Outlook, I have a couple of choices here. Notice I have Office 365 Outlook and Outlook.com. If you're using the free version, this is the one you're going to use, this Outlook.com. If you're a Microsoft 365 user, this is the one that you're going to be wanting to use. And so this is what I'm logged into, my account, so I'm going to go ahead and choose this one. Now, what do I want to have happen? I want it to send an email. And you can see all these different options that I have, from create a contact to delete an email and so on as I go down the list. But I just want it to send an email, so I'm going to choose this one right here. Who is this email going to be to? Now, I could go through and start writing emails just like normal through here, and it will get sent to everybody, and I could separate it by comma, or I could just pick part of the organization and go through and add them, or I could even add a group. So if this is a Microsoft Teams group, and I could send out this message to that group, and I'll keep it as this for this example. What's the subject line? So I'm just going to click in this, and I'll say that this is just a subject line here, weekly team meeting reminder, Monday morning huddle. And at this point, I can go and write an email. So you could go through and write it out in here. I'll just put this as my email here, and I'll even give my name here at the very bottom. I can go through and format in here so you can see all the different formatting options. I'm not going to go through in this example, but I do want to point out a few more options. If I go to show advanced options and I take a look, see, if you want to do a CC or BCC, you can add it right through here. We have attachments if you needed to add an attachment to this as well. So there's lots of different options that you can go through and set up on this email. But for our purposes, for this weekly email reminder to the team for Pause for Cause, I think this will do. Let's go ahead and save this flow now. I can click save up top, and at the very bottom, you notice I could add a new step or hit save here as well. And now I can see that the flow is ready to go. We recommend you test it. To test it, if I just go over here, you can notice that this test, I can click on it. We can run it manually. I can go down below, click test, and I can go and run flow. And it looks like it ran successfully with a check mark here. If I hit done, your flow ran successful. If you want to access all your flows, just go over to the left here and you can see my flows. If I click on this, you'll see all the different flows that I created inside my Power Automate. This is the last one we just created. And notice we have a few options here too. I can go through and run it right from here. I could go back at any time and edit it. And if you look at the ellipses, you have a few more commands because you might not want to run this flow all the time. And what you can do is turn this off. If you knew there was a time that you don't want to run it, you could go ahead and just turn it off and then turn it on again. I hope this video has come in helpful for you and that you can use this tip here I showed you today, and that I've made you a little bit more curious about using Power Automate. Check out those other videos if you want to learn more. Let me know what you want to learn more as well. Thanks for watching this time on Teachers Tech. I'll see you next time with more tech tips and tutorials.